Hello everybody, welcome to The Kill Count. My name is Big Large and today we're covering the second Nobody movie. Back with a bigger budget, this movie improves on a lot of the shortcomings of the first one, like giving Hutch and his family a personality. I like this movie a lot more than the other one. He's got better characters, kills, and a better story, all while still playing the hits. In this seldom demanded sequel, our hero tries to stay away from trouble and enjoy a vacay with the fam, but trouble finds him anyways. Now he has to fight another evil crime lord, all while trying to keep the family safe. Can he survive 5 Nights at Freddy's? Let's get to the kills and find out. This movie once again opens up with Hutch in custody using a lighter to cauterize a wound. It seems like he's got a dog instead of a cat this time, signifying that he's no longer a pussy, he a big dog. Row! Once again, the DTs ask who he is, and he says he's nobody. 2. We see the monotony of life impact Becca instead of Hutch this time. Her life consists of waking up without her man, going swimming on Sundays, and eating dinner with the fam without him, and ending up alone at the table. Meanwhile, Hutch is living his best life, murdering somebody on Monday, whacking somebody on Wednesday, and taking out 4 dudes on Thursday. Afterwards, he responds to Becca, and his wife almost hits him with the "we need to talk" text. She chickens out and says ILY instead. The next morning, he tries to chat with his kids, but they're already gone. Becca dips too, and he rushes to get the trash out on time, nearly making the same mistake. He catches his woman before she leaves, and she says she wants to go on a trip with the fam. He says he'll make a plan and let her know, and she drives off. What the hell? Later, at his assignment, he waits at a hotel for some crazy rich Asians. He puts an out of order sign in front of the elevator and gets on with them. He asks if they went to the convention, and one of them flashes a piece and says, "They're not here for that." Hutch takes that gun and shoots 2 of them in their legs, then points at another, asking for the access card. Instead of giving it to him, he looks at the scared white guy in the corner, and Hutch throws his mag into a different one's head. The man in front of him chin checks him, so he grabs his arm and throws him over his shoulder. The scaredy cat tries calling for help, but the accountant rips the phone out and breaks a nigga's neck with it. Then he puts it in somebody else's mouth and breaks his jaw. He hands the phone back, then takes that card from his pocket. Another one tries shooting him, but he disassembles the gun and knocks him out with it. When he gets off the elevator, he's greeted by the Corsicans. They try shooting his ass down, but he throws a propane tank and kills all 6 of them. When he goes down to the parking lot, some Brazilians with machetes blasting funk roll up on him, so he takes his belt and a metal pole and wraps it around his forearm. He knocks one of them down and, wait, I thought he just took off his belt. Anyways, he kills one of them with their own weapon, then runs to the barber to drop off the card. How come we never see him cut nobody hair? Apparently, the Russians were gonna kill him, but the CIA saw him as too valuable to lose, so they paid him off and are keeping him as an asset until he works off what he owes. That's probably how he got sprung in the last movie. He blurts out that he's gonna take a vacay, and his barber tells him good luck. He doesn't trust that Hutch isn't gonna start some shit because it's in his nature, and poignantly says, "Wherever you go, there you are." Back when he beat the Brazilians, he saw a sticker for Plummerville, a hotel and water park. He shows an outdated ad to his family, and everyone but bum-ass Brady is down to clown. Becca says that he don't got a choice, and Hutch exposes that his dad only ever took him and his brother on one vacay growing up, here. So now he wants to share that happiness with him. The riveting speech convinces him. They pick up Davey at the new home and catch him risen up somebody's granny. His son asks him to put out his cigar for the kids, so in protest, he puts it out on his own hand. On the way there, they look at pics on a digicam and sing along to old music. This family has like 0 chemistry. They only here for a check. And so am I. Subscribe and like the video. They arrive to the park and lead the kids to their room while the Mr. and Mrs. get the honeymoon suite. Becca don't really fuck with it, but she's happy the fam's all together. Apparently knocking wasn't taught growing up, so Sammy just busts through the door and catches her parents smacking face. They go down to the water park to find out it's closed. They get a receipt to go to a restaurant, and while in there, Hutch reminisces about his childhood there, accidentally making goo-goo eyes at a sheriff in the process. He presses him and the pig gets suspicious of him. After they eat, they go to an arcade. While over there, he tries talking to his son about the black eye he got, and he essentially tells him to fuck off. Some girls call him cute, so he gives them their tickets. Some chud comes up to him and demands an apology for hitting on his girl. Brady don't fold, so he snatches the plush that his sister was holding and rips it in 2. This causes him to punch the punk in the face. He easily gets him in a hold, but the manager breaks it up and throws Brady. The instigator lobs a baseball at his head, but Hutch steps in and catches it. He argues with the manager, but Becca steps in and says they gotta go. Sammy tries picking up the plush, but he tells her to leave it and slaps her. They zoom in on Hutch. Shit's about to go down, but no, they just leave. He says he left his phone and stepped back in while his wife begs him not to. That's what I'm talking about. He busts down the door and decks the manager. His underling presses him, so he throws him into a claw machine. Some prick who doesn't even work there tries attacking him. Hutch whacks his mole with a whack-a-mole hammer. He grabs the slapper and throws him into a machine, then smacks behind his head a bunch, and his family catches him in the act. Later, they're detained by the police. Saul tries preaching to his son that violence isn't the answer, and he gets kinda pissed. He tells him to keep calm, but then crashes out? Like, what? but Brady does glaze him for it. A cop eerily hits the wall as he makes his way to the boys. It's the sheriff from earlier. He tells Hutch to get up and forcefully takes him to the office. The owner of the theme park tells him that the kid Brady punched was his son. Normally, foreigners get away with whatever because they need the money, but this time Brady messed up his pitching arm. Hutch folds and says that he'll get his son to apologize, but they didn't start anything, they just finished it. They let them go with no charges pressed against them, but the sheriff wants his boys to go after him. When they get back to the room, Becca yells at her man for beating the fuck out of those guys and says he's the reason their son is so violent. He brought a black bag with him that he's been very secretive of. She suspects that he got a blick, but really it's a bottle of wine from the city and the year that they met. That's so sweet. She apologizes for yelling and jumps into his arm. They lay onto the bed and talk about their history while sipping on some wine. They have fun at the park's shooting range, ball pit, and mirror room. They take pics in the carousel while a cop also takes their pic. They want to get on a duck boat, an amphibious vehicle used in the Korean War, but all they have is a literal duck boat. He watches as his family leaves without him and makes up an excuse about being seasick. He gets on a different boat and the r/conservative mod team boards with them. Before they have another iconic fight scene, civilians board too, so they behave. He asks what the issue is, and they ask his old ass why he's still there after being told to leave. He says that he's just making happy memories and they laugh in his face. He says it's all just big one misunderstanding and one of them charges him. He redirects his portly ass, then gets knocked into a pool by someone else. When he gets up, he uses a life jacket to disarm a guy and throw someone off the boat. They pick apart the boat to attack Hutch with it, but they hit the lead antag instead. He hits another one of his men when the CIA agent throws him into a strike. Then he gets disarmed and knocked out. After kicking down one guy and knocking out another, he tries reasoning with them, but he gets his pinky finger sliced and his ass knocked off the boat. They get mad at the cop because they were expecting to fight some dad bod tourist, not all this. While they argue, Hutch returns with a vengeance. He tackles the cop and bangs his head on the top, then crowns the guy with the duck helmet and beats the shit out of him. Then he suplexes a guy into a pole. Good lord. He picks up the anchor and drives it into a man's shoulder, then anchors the ship, effectively drowning him. He ends the fight by maniacally wailing on the cop, saying to tell his boss he's on vacation. Then it hard cuts to him at a bus stop. He calls Harry, who plays the shamisen, over the phone with him. Hutch tells him that Plummerville is a lot more hostile than he remembers, to which his brother replies it was always that way. The only reason Davey took them there was for a mission, and that the cops are working with the crime syndicate. Abel the sheriff and Wyatt the park owner discuss the shipment and talk about beefing up security. Abe gets a call from his niggas that Hutch kicked everyone ass. Barbara gets a call from nobody asking about Plummerville, and he tells him the same thing his brother said. If Harry and Barbie knew, why didn't Hutch? He asks who's at the top, and he tells him a lady named Lindina, a woman who's a lot more ruthless than the Russians. At her casino, she's called to the floor when someone's accused of cheating at blackjack. She catches the man in the act and slices the dealer's neck for not knowing, then stabs the man in the eye. She takes out an earpiece and yells into it, revealing the location of the other cheaters who were subsequently murdered. Then she says to leave no witnesses, killing the rest of the gamblers. They didn't even do anything. While helping his son pitch, he gets a call from the sociopath. He tells her that his father's debt has been paid, and she laughs and says it's never over. He hops into another call with the sheriff, telling him to check Wyatt at. At the hotel, the kids ask if their dad's alright because they ain't seen him since the boats. They get a sus knock at the door, but it's just Davey with some grub. Meanwhile, his son is talking to himself in the mirror. It's showtime. Over at Abel's warehouse, they kidnap Wyatt's son. They tell Lillian's men to send her a message, but they don't speak the same language. While in the background, Hutch pours gasoline all over the money. He threatens to torch the cash and blow everyone in here up. Dishonest Abe asks what he wants, and he says he just wants a break, to be left alone. The sheriff says, fuck you, you put all my niggas in the ICU. But he gets closer to the money stack with a lighter, so he just lets him off easy. As he leaves, the kid that's tied up opens the door of the van and falls out, just like before he leaves, but changes his mind, goes back in and causes havoc. Except we don't see any of it at first. We get a sick transition and a look inside. He shoots somebody down, then somehow hangs the nigga. He slams somebody against the van Max is in, then picks up a pump and shoots 2 more men, sending one into the windshield. While he's distracted, a man grabs him, throws him onto a saw table, and turns it on. It looks like trouble for our pro tag, but instead of getting chopped himself, he yanks a tool off the wall and ropes the guy into it himself. He grabs the traumatized teen and makes a run for it, but the pigs stop him. He tries killing the man and child, but his stick empty. Hutch shoots the lights, causing sparks to set the cash ablaze. It's their fault for having all their money in a big pile. Like, what are they, Scrooge McDuck? Put all that shit in the Swedish banking account or in a tax-free saving account. If you're really smart about it, you launder it by the flame reaches the flammable barrels that every villain needs, and it explodes the entire building with Abel inside as they drive off. They discuss the losses with Lindina, who's royally pissed. The sheriff calls all scarred to tell her to watch out for Hutch. The family guy pulls up to David's cabin with Max, who immediately makes up with Brady. The old man gives his son some privacy while he talks to his wife. She gets mad at him for running off and killing those dudes when he promised to be off that shit. Girl, they were gonna kill you and your kids. The fuck you want him to do? He tells her that he has no control over the things that happen to him, so it's best that she run away as fast as she can. But she responds by saying that she's never gonna leave him and that his kids need him, so he's gotta fix the mess he's in. What do you think he was gonna do, Rebecca? Hutch walks into Wyatt's office, trying to plead with him, but he starts attacking him when he learns that he's got his son. He knocks his ass down and explains that he saved him from Lindina and what he did to her. The old man thanks him and says that she killed his dad. The fuck? Hutch asks what she thinks she'll do to him when she finds him, and Wyatt says that she's erased entire bloodlines before. When she's most deaf on her way there, they mount up and close down the park. Nobody says that he apologized for what's about to be done to his daddy park, but he says he fucking hates that park. The convo is interrupted by a tall, dark, and handsome stranger. Harry's here for support. The four guys booby-trap the entire park. The Mansells convene to talk about how their father neglected him, but Davy brushes it off by saying they turned out fine. I don't know about fine, Harry's a vegan. Hutch says he wants Brady to be a better person and that his dad tells him that both boys became better than him. Their family bonding time is stopped when Lindina and them roll up. She sends half the squad to the park and the other half to the cabin with the fam. Abel presses Wyatt and Hutch, and it's nighttime? Abel tells him this is his town and urges them to surrender. The sheriff tells her that they didn't surrender, so Lindina tells him to switch him down? Hell yeah, I was sick of his ass! They advance on the park and Wyatt triggers one of the traps. He slams the hammer on a high striker and triggers a nade that blows up 3 people. 3 more goofballs shoot at a decoy and get lured into a trap. Once they get close enough, Hutch activates the coaster and smashes into them. It's like those AI vids where you see somebody get smacked by one. 5 goons chase Wyatt into another trap where they get blown up then gunned down by our main man. 2 jokers try ending his life, so he headshots both of them. 3 men follow him into the House of Mirrors and fall for the old trick. He triggers some trap that blows up the entire house, sending 3 of them ablaze. Another group of 3 chase Wyatt into a ball pit. They step on a landmine and all blow up. Hutch casually strolls through the park and sees a guy waiting for him. The guy from a scene I may have skipped distracts the attacker and Hutch puts him down. While running around unarmed, they finally land a shot on the park owner and he limps his way around a corner and lead him into a trap. They trip a wire and surfboards with blades in them end their story right there. Hutch shoots down 4 people on top of 4 before his mag empties. He slides down a water slide while a goon can't exactly hit his mark. The CI agent jumps down and activates spikes at the bottom that kill a goon. Hutch runs off and kills a chaser without looking. Then his dad mows down like 7 more of them with his minigun. When he gets up, someone shoots an RPG at Davy. His son quickly avenges him. He kills another man before the cavalry overwhelms him. Back at the cabin, Lindina's forces prepare to strike. I don't think they need all that to kill a woman and 3 kids. Before they can even make it, all 4 of them are expeditiously executed. Final one, Cartouche, played by the same guy who played Kirill in John Wick, is challenged by Harry to a sword fight. He brandishes his machete and they go at it. He has the edge until he taunts his opponent. The RZA slices his weapon to bits, so he pulls out his stick. But he cuts through the gun and then his head? In the cabin, a man somehow makes it through and aims his sights on a little girl and teen boy. Brady catches him off guard and manages to knock him out while he begs for his life. What a bitch. When his uncle sees him, he says his father would be proud. Speaking of the man, Hutch sets down Wyatt and searches for his father. Lindina catches him first and sicks 2 of her, Black Widows on him? They put belt to ass and fuck him up. The girls bring him up so the bosses can cut his face. She orders them to end his life, but before that can happen, Wyatt shoots one of them down. The other cries in pain for her fallen sister and chases after him in a straight line. Since she got the survival skills of wet cardboard, she gets blicked down too. Since none of her vicious soldiers can kill 3 old men, she decides to do it herself. She has him dead to rights, but she's shot by a trank. It's Becca! The villainess throws a knife at her, but the woman shoots another capsule that hits the knife and lands in her eye. My god! Apparently, Davy was still alive, waiting for the right time to blow this bitch up. He presses the red button and Wyatt and the couple jump into the pool while Lindina and her crew burn alive. In the pool, Hutch and Becca share a passionate kiss. They cut back to the first scene of the movie. They pan out to show that Becca was there too. When asked who they are, they say they're married. Like in the first movie, the cops get an anonymous call from an unknown number and they let him go. The movie ends with the family looking at the pics, reminiscing, and looking forward to the next vacation. 84 people died in this movie. With a runtime of 129 minutes, that leaves us with a kill on average every 1 minute and 3 seconds. Platinum Pistols gotta go to Cartouche. I was unfamiliar with Harry game. I swear he wasn't moving like that in the first movie. In a series where niggas either get blown up or shot, this was a great change of pace. Poor Peach Shooter will def go to one of the guys that got shot off screen at the beginning of the movie. Hall of Fame this time is gonna go to the criminal lawyer himself, Hutch. He was a lot more likable in this movie in my opinion. In the last, he kept talking about how much he loved his family, but they barely fuck with each other. In this movie, they got a lot better chemistry and family moments. His actions give more insight into the type of person he is. Like, despite killing niggas for money, he has a code that involves keeping the vulnerable safe. Hall of Shame go to Lindina ho ass. Julian at least had a reason to exterminate the nobody. He killed his brother and more importantly burned his cash. As a wise man once said, fuck with my money so you know I had to act sane. Linda just kinda evil to be evil. Like, she didn't need to kill Belly. She didn't need to kill all those people in the casino, and she did not need to kill Wyatt Daddy. Just rotten for nothing. That was Nobody 2, y'all. Stay tuned because I got something good coming for you next week, eh?